All right, thank you, John. A long vacant chunk of land in Ohio City may soon be home to a series of apartments in the Franklin Historic District.
But there's always that friction between promoting new construction and preserving a neighborhood's old charm.
News 5's Jordan Vandenberg explains why outdated city regulations make the process even more cumbersome.
A prime piece of property in a red-hot real estate market. But it is not as simple as buying and building, as Chad Curtis
So this has been vacant for, I think, 30 plus years.
can attest.
I think they had some good points. I think there's a couple things we can do to address it and hopefully get this project built.
Curtis has proposed a townhome-style apartment project near West 48th in Franklin that could put 24 living units on this vacant plot of land. However, the Landmarks Commission tabled a decision.
I'm concerned that we're kind of pushing this unnecessarily.
Amid concerns over certain code requirements.
Just to get building permits, developers have to find ways to move their project through a maze of zoning codes that date all the way back to 1929. For example, in this case, the developer has to get a variance or a waiver that requires a building be a certain distance set back from the street. There are also provisions in the zoning code that cap how big a building can be. There are even rules that require a certain number of parking spaces for each living unit being proposed.
In total, Curtis needs 11 variances. And as a well-established developer in Cleveland, he says that is not unusual.
There's a lot. There's a lot of design. There's a lot of code requirements with parking, different setbacks. As you heard, we have a number of variances for this particular project, even trying to fit almost anything in the city of Cleveland, a single family or a building, requires variances.
As the city undergoes a surge in new construction, the city's antiquated zoning code may be renovated too. The City Planning Commission is piloting a new type of zoning code that places greater emphasis on walkability and flexibility. Until it goes citywide, Curtis has to operate under the old system.
It sounded like there was some pretty positive feedback. It sounded that they want us to step it back a little bit more, and it looked like a pretty positive outcome after that.
Despite the slight delay, Curtis remains optimistic, and he hopes someday soon the mailman will have a few more stops along his route. In Cleveland, Jordan Vandenberg, News 5.